We return with Hilary Kennedy from 4 Minute Buzz and a big UFC fan. There was another event over the weekend, right? The two best fights were the bloodiest, of course, because you like it bloody.
Yes, if there's no blood, then you did not get your money's worth. So there were two fights that were pretty bloody this weekend. And for people who don't think women's sports are as exciting as men's sports, and I generally agree with you, but in the UFC, that is not the case. The female fights are awesome.
For me, that's hard to watch. It's hard for, I don't know what it is.
No, there's nothing more raw than the anger of two women. I love it. So this was a really,
and was
really
that one of the bloody ones?
Oh, yes. So it was
wow.
Amanda Nunes, the lioness, and she was fighting Juliana Pena. And she had lost to Pena at one point in time. So this was like a very anticipated rematch.
Like a big grudge match.
Yes. And I have to say that Pena
look at that.
Pena describes herself as tougher than a $2 steak, and she's right. She hung in there all 5 rounds. She got knocked down 3 times in one round and still managed to get back up, keep swinging. But Nunes came in really prepared, mentally prepared, and she came in using a southpaw stance, which kind of threw Pena off her game.
Yeah.
So that strategy worked really well. But, Nunes was in the driver's seat the whole time. She looked fantastic. She did ultimately win, but not before. She came out pretty bloodied and mangled as well, but it was a great fight. And anyone that hasn't seen it, go back, watch the highlights because you will love it.
Lots of blood from these two women. That's great.
Yes.
You show the photo again because is the one whose face is all bloody, is that Nunes or the other one?
That's Pena.
Okay.
And so she's
All right.
actually a very beautiful woman if you've ever seen
Is
her
she
when
really?
she's not covered in
Because
blood.
she does not look it there.
No. But she didn't need surgery. They asked for an update on her health. She didn't need surgery or anything like that. Some people thought she was going to maybe need some reconstruction because she got a very deep gash on her forehead. But she said,
Was that from a headbutt?
She's recovering fine. I can't remember how she got the gash on her forehead.
Maybe a
but
kick.
She really, she's a brave fighter. She hung in there and she almost had Nunes a couple of times with an arm bar, but it didn't work out for her ultimately in the end.
Would you like to do that? Would you like to fight in the...
If I didn't do this for work and didn't need my face.
Yeah.
We actually
Yes.
talked about this when I interviewed her for At the Mic. And remember, I gave you like the option. I think your sister was a possibility.
Yes. Yes. I have a former
previous
coworker.
coworker,
I would enjoy fighting. Yes.
Good stuff.
But yeah, so I think that the female fights are some of the most exciting, and I think because the brutality is a little unexpected.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
So I encourage you to watch more of the female.
So
fights if
was
you're
there
ready.
a male fight that got bloody too?
There was. So Brandon Moreno, he fought Kai Kara France. And this was a great fight. It had a ton of action. The first 2 rounds, there were a lot of body kicks, leg kicks. It was very exciting. Ultimately, he won with a devastating body kick. And so he had a 3rd round TKO. But there is a picture of Moreno's face. They have like a side-by-side, like a before and after.
Oh, no.
And
Oh,
he
God.
just
Oh, my gosh.
looks horrible.
Wow.
He was torn up.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you're listening to the audio version only of this podcast, imagine Brad Pitt on the left and then Jeffy on the right. That's the difference we're talking
Face
about
all
here.
swollen,
Oh,
cut
my
up.
goodness.
Eesh, boy.
Yeah, it was. And so this was
That's
their
brutal.
3rd time to fight each other. And it was still just as exciting as the other 2 times. So people are calling for maybe a 4th rematch, which normally would never happen. But even Dana White said, you know what? I welcome it. I would watch this again.
Wow.
So yeah, it was
Wow.
a great fight. Lots of blood.
Yeah.
Also, what I thought was funny, since my sister was actually at this fight, she said people kept shouting, "Let's go, Brandon," the entire fight when Brandon Moreno was in there, which was
that's great.
And she said people tried to get a lot of the FJB chant going as well.
Was this in Dallas or where?
It was in Dallas.
Yeah, I
They
thought
moved there
so.
later.
Yeah.
When's the next one? It's August 20th. I saw on the old
It's
calendar.
Salt Lake City.
Oh.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna actually try and go to that one. So,
Are you really?
Yeah, so I'll let you know.
Wait,
All
there's
right.
just
I know there's one here
5
in Dallas.
minutes from here.
I
and you
know.
didn't
I had
go
to work
that.
this weekend, so I missed it. But my sister and brother-in-law got the tickets, so they said it was fantastic. And I know we talk about Jake Paul here a lot as well. So I have a little update on him. So he was supposed to have a boxing match with Hasim Rahman Jr. on August the 6th, and they'd agreed to fight at a maximum weight of 200 pounds.
Now, this is a boxing match, not MMA, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Boxing match. So Rahman weighed in at 216 on July 7th, And they said, hey, publicly and privately, they said, hey, we're going to be able to make weight in time for the match. Don't worry about it. They even had like a signed letter by a nutritionist who said, yeah, I'll be able to make weight. But Jake Paul's camp said, no, you're not sticking to our terms. There's no way that you're going to be able to make weight. So they canceled the fight. So after UFC 277, people asked Dana White, because they love to ask Dana about Jake Paul. And they asked him, what did you think about them canceling this big fight? It's been really hyped up. Everybody wants to see Jake Paul fight again. And he said, I think it was canceled because they didn't sell enough tickets. Because he said, from what I heard, they sold $100,000 worth of tickets, but it's $500,000 just to turn the lights on in that place. So I think they're running scared, and that's why.
Does Jake Paul have anything huge lined up against anybody that we know?
I mean, this was really it. Like, this was his next big fight. So people were super excited about it. And there was a lot of hype around it. But Dana White also told Jake Paul, like, you need to get better people around you. Your people stink at managing your career. So I don't know what's going to happen next. Rahman had a rebuttal back because Jake Paul went on YouTube and Twitter and said, you know, he's kind of a cheater. He wasn't going to make weight. He didn't stick to the terms. But Rahman wrote back and said, no, I am ready to fight. I'm going to be there. It's your camp that's canceling the fight. I had nothing to do with this. So very interesting.
Yeah. He's made a lot of money, though, hasn't he? With because who did he fight last time? And he just beat an MMA guy not too long ago. Woodley.
Cameron Woodley, yeah. So that was a good fight. So I think.
So, I mean, he seems to be the real deal. He can hold his own in the ring.
He can. He trains really hard. People love to hate him too. So he's got such a big personality, and to have longevity in the career, you really need that. So
I'd like to see him get in the ring with a decent MMA fighter. That would be interesting.
I agree.
I think he'd get his butt kicked.
Well, he keeps inching closer and closer to trying to get a big UFC fight, and he and Dana have such contention, and people really want to see that drama. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, this was a disappointment because everybody was really looking forward to it.
Yeah. What else you have here?
Something Keith and I talked about the other day. We were talking about cupping. So I have recently gone to get cupping done. Now, I'd had it done before.
Cupping is where you stick like suction cups to?
The glass cups. Typically on your back, but you can get them lots of different places. Lots of Olympic athletes do it. So for people who are watching, we have a video.
Oh my goodness!
Getting cupped.
So they take the cups, they light them on fire to warm them up, and then they stick them to your back. But what I thought was most interesting about doing this, because it's a detox for your body, and this has been used for thousands of years in all sorts of places. Egypt,
and what's it
China,
supposed to do?
Iran. It's a detox, so it's supposed to bring all the toxins that are in your body to the surface, and you're able to get them out.
Yeah.
You feel better.
Really?
I swear by it. I love it. I think it's amazing. People think it's crazy, but it's superficial bruising. I would rather have some superficial bruises than have to try a bunch of pharmaceuticals in order to feel better.
How long do the bruises last?
On me, because I spray tan, so I'm orange most of the time. But in real life, I'm pretty pale. So bruises on me last about a week and a half.
Oh, wow.
Okay. But the way we got to talking about this is we were talking about the vaccines, which, of course, are safe and effective, as we've been brainwashed to believe. And you are telling me that the people that do this cupping stuff can draw that poison, the vaccine right out of your system, right?
She said that is
really
a lot of her business recently is people that have had the vaccine, and they can draw some of that out. And what I thought was even crazier is when she took some of the cups off, she said, have you had COVID recently? And I said, yeah, a couple weeks ago I did when I was on vacation. And she said, we can smell it.
COVID has a smell.
Really?
We heard early on that dogs
dogs
could smell that.
were-
Yeah. But so I guess the message for people that got the vaccine maybe have been just terrified at the ramifications, the unintended consequences of this since they got it.
Go cupping.
You might want to try cupping.
Yeah.
Get it out of
you.
you.
Know what? Anything is worth a try. But I do believe in it. I felt so much better after getting
More
it done.
energy?
So, absolutely. More energy. Everything just felt like it worked better. I slept better.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. I mean, it's a
How
pretty
often do you have to
fascinating
go do
process.
that to maintain this balance?
It just depends. A lot of people do maintenance cupping. I had my backside done first, and that was the least comfortable. So that night I felt really sore and achy, almost kind of like when you have the flu. And I just drank tons of water and took like a nice Epsom salt bath and felt great the next day. I had the front done next, and that's a little less comfortable because the
Don't
skin
play
is
that video.
thinner on the front. But my bruises didn't last as long because she'd already removed a lot of the stuff that was in my body that shouldn't be
so
there.
you didn't really know that quickly.
Yeah. So I think if you did it, on a maintenance schedule, just did it every couple of months or so.
Very cool.
It'd be really
Is it
helpful.
expensive?
It can be, for full body. It was about $400, which is not cheap.
Is there a
But
Groupon available?
exactly. But if you're
I'm guessing
looking
insurance
for,
doesn't cover it.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something that's not taking a pharmaceutical or spending, a ton of money going to a bunch of different doctors to figure out why you don't feel good, it's always worth trying.
If you got the
Worth a try.
vaccine against your will
Sure.
and you want it out of you, that sounds
Go
like
see
a
if they can pull it out.
Yeah,
Worth
they said
cupping.
they're doing it for lots of people. So.
Thanks, Hilary. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for
No,
having
you
me.
have to get to the 4-minute buzz. But thanks again.